All right, guys. Well, here we are. You know, it, you know, yesterday, or like, I think 2 days ago. No, it had to be yesterday because I was wearing this shirt. Sometimes I don't shower, and I wear the same clothes a couple days in a row. And I went and I got tested for COVID, I think 3 days ago now, and I came up negative. And when I was in the waiting room to get my test results, this old guy is probably from New York. He had like a very like Guido thug accent. He's like, what does that fucking t-shirt mean? All my homies hate prison. What the fuck kind of shirt is that? I was like, all my homies do hate prison, bro. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Little hoodlum like you. I bet you and your friends love that shit. What do? You know, I had a friend, right? I had a friend, he had a son. He was all up in the drugs. I think he was smoking something out of a fucking light bulb. Do you know what I'm talking about? He was probably doing crystal meth. Yeah, and then they'd be grunting and moaning. I think theirs was butt fucking. Is that, you know that term, or is that too old for you? No, yeah, well, the term butt fucking, sir, I happen to be a butt fuck aficionado. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Me too. I love fucking bitches in the ass. He's talking this way like at a volume where like the entire waiting room can hear it. At this point, I'm getting uncomfortable. I'm like folding my fucking arms so that people can't read this shit anymore. But it was funny. That actually happened, you know. I don't know about verbatim like that, but it was pretty close. He saw my shirt. He asked me what that even means. And I kind of explained to him, you know, what my story was, Cliff Notes. And then he started telling me about his like wild fucking friend's son who's like some bisexual raver in New York. It's just funny because it's like shit that I always joke about, and this guy like was like being for real. I was like, I gotta go. Couldn't think, have you ever been butt fucked on meth? Pegging counts, Ryan. I'm like, no, hun, no. She's like, let me see your fucking fingers. So I want to make sure that you're not crossing them because I know how you get down. You get so fucking horny on that shit. All right, sorry. Whew, I'm losing it, guys. Um, yeah, thankfully I don't have COVID. I mean, I'm not trying to start some controversial debate, you know, whether the validity of the virus or not. I didn't want to get it for my kids' sake, even if there's a chance that it can affect them or harm them in any way. It's interesting when you become a parent, you know, your entire outlook on life changes. Um, when it comes to addiction, you know, it can be really frustrating when you're using and you don't want to because you have kids and you're like, the last thing in the world you want is for them not to be in your life. And Karina started threatening. At first, it was like innocent. She'd be like giving me Eskimo kiss. She's like, I'm gonna take the kids if you don't sober up. I'm like, oh, all right. She'd like leave like cute little notes with like a ribbon on it in the kitchen. I'm gonna leave your bitch ass. I'm like, bitch ass. And then to the point where, you know, she sat down with my dad, and they gave me a straight up intervention. Like, hey, you can't be in your kid's life if you're going to continue to use. Karina was going to move away, and so I don't have to because that sounds like it's involuntary. I want to because I want to be better. You know, I go through these like periods where like anything I do, I go hard, right? If I'm sucking dick, there's 7 in my mouth at the same time. Like I can fit more, punk ass lames. When I got out of prison the first time, I was obsessed with working out, obsessed with eating healthy. I do everything obsessively. I'm like an extremist. And I'm like in one of those manic upswings right now where like I'm very focused on being sober and doing what I have to do to get better. Therapy, psychiatry, outpatient, and I'm getting tested. Um, and, you know, I don't have acne. It's like clearing up finally. Like like that's one of the reasons too that it's been like I've been like, ooh, I don't know if I should do a video right now because I look so bad. Um, you know, and I've been, and that's the worst thing when you clean up and you have like a little bit of time under your belt, but like nothing like too significant, but you like are still all broken out and you have scratches and track marks. There's like bloody fucking stains on your ass from when you ran out of money last August. So what? Shout out to Sam. Sup, fool? Sam the man, not Sam the woman. Um, anyway, the last couple days, I've really been working hard to get the touring, you know, lined up. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to self-publish it, but I have a friend that owns a publishing company, Samantha Bennington. We did a Friends Friday with her, so there's no reason I should, like, not tell you who I'm considering. And she's at Sundance right now, even though they're doing it digitally this year. They're doing it via Zoom, but there's still a bunch of people going that had bought tickets to hotels and shit a year back because it's so hard to get a hotel room at Sundance in Park City, Utah. So she's there. She comes back at the end of this month, and I'm going out to dinner. We're going to Samantha's house. Me, Karina, Nico Weiland, her son Draven's going to be there, and she just got engaged, so her fiance. And we're going to sit there and we're going to talk about her possibly publishing my book. She published her book. Do I have a copy? I have a copy somewhere. Yeah, I really like the quality of the I wish that I know I have a fucking copy of one of her books. Damn. What did I do with it? Okay. I can show you one thing though, for sure. This is, so her book's called Falling Love Notes. And this is a special edition box that, you know, she only released like a finite amount of these right here. Falling Love Notes. Memoir of a rock star wife. And it talks about her being married to Chester and everything. I have no idea what I did with the book though. I don't know. I read it. I liked the book. The printing quality is really good. But also, she's got amazing press contacts, you know? And this is going to be a book that has 6 installments. This is just one of 6. When I really sat down and focused on antiheroes, like the last like couple months, when I was like on a content hiatus and I was writing every day, you know, I was able to do it pretty quickly. Like, I'm pretty confident that I could write like the second installment in like 40 or 50 days, you know, if I write every day. She's got really good press contacts. And of course, if you're on a publisher, well, if it's a good publisher, pays for the touring. So I haven't decided if I'm going to self-publish or if I'm going to go with her. I like Samantha a lot. You know, we're friends. I like her son, Draven. I don't know if you guys have seen... I was so fucking out of it when all that stuff was happening. Have you guys seen the footage of Chester's son, Draven, playing me in the reenactments? I guess there's no way of me knowing. You know, some of my friends still watch, you know, so I can call and ask. But somebody remind me if I ever post all the footage of Draven, Chester's son, playing me. Because he looked a lot like me when I was 19, 20. Al Prophet had an old prison cell. An old prison. Yeah, he just had an old one. Hey, can I have that old prison cell? Thanks. Thought I'd never find one of these. Cool, man. How much you want? $30? Fucking here's 40. He has one in one of his studios. Al Prophet is a fucking straight up G. Like, that guy is bawling out of his fucking mind. You know, it's crazy. He like owns a house in Palm Springs. He has a studio in San Bernardino. That's where it's like a recording studio. and they film shit there. And then he has an office in downtown LA. Like, he is really, like, he is the epitome of somebody that, like, really fucking made it on YouTube. Jessica Ken as well. Death, 23andMe. These are, like, people that really made it. But Al created a prison cell in one of his old, why do I keep saying old? Old fucking balls. He created a prison cell in his studio in San Bernardino. So one day, we went there and we filmed. This is all shit I'm going to be covering in the relapse, so I probably shouldn't be talking about this right now. But anyway, regardless if Samantha is the one publishing my book, her company, I think, is called By the Way Publishing, and she published her book, was the first book. They also got all the rights to Playboy. So the second book, and they already have a film deal with that. So the second book that they're putting out on their label is like the inside scoop on what happened with Playboy and the franchise and everything. So, I think that publishing company is going to blow up. And I'd really like to be on that label. Now, one thing that I learned that depends on, like I said, if like we can negotiate a good deal or not. But if we can't, it's no big thing for me to self-publish. I kind of like the idea of self-publishing a book and then the book doing really well, because, there's nobody's responsible for its success but you. And also nobody's responsible for its failure but you. When you self-publish, the ball is in your court. You have complete control. And I'm a fucking control freak. Yeah, babe, let me tie you up. It'll be fun. Yeah, act dead. Can I put this fake blood on you? What do you mean I'm weird? Yeah, I'm packing my shit. I'm out of here. Bye. Regardless of how it's published, I'm going to be touring. And when I'm touring, I have told myself I'm going to do 30 different readings. Now, yeah, it's exactly as boring as it sounds. Imagine me at a podium. Antiheroes, episode 1, the Ballad of Mikey May. Like some guy playing saxophone in the background. There's like some guy on stage who just paid a fucking snap. Just pretend you're Sinatra. Come on, do it. I'm gonna read out of this book. Readings, I guess, can be fun, right? So anyway, the point is, I'm all over the place. That's why I had to do a monologue. I'm like, I need to decompress a little bit. There's a shooting on my street, maybe 2-3 hours ago. It was really gnarly. A bunch of cops came, not here, but I'm just saying, it was like 3 or 4 houses down. So the point is I'm gonna film the whole thing. A lot of times bands do that when they go on tour. They film the whole thing, but of course, this is immediate release. Like, every day that I'm touring, I'm going to be filming it, and I'm going to get a chance to meet a lot of people. I'm sure I'm going to hit every major city, I think. Well, wouldn't that be all 50 states then, bro? Except for 20 of them. And there's some states like California, for instance, I'm going to hit probably 7 or 8 different venues. And I'm looking for colleges, bookstores, bars, basically anyone that'll have me. And I go up there, do a little talk, read a little bit out of my book. There's a Q&A panel where people can ask me, hey, how big's your dick for real? My wife wants to know. You can take a stab at her if you want, homeboy. Hold up. It's as small as I said. I thought I knew it. Yeah, let's do it with that guy. I think that's the one, babe. All right. Dap each other. What the fuck? I think it's going to be really fun, because when Waste and Talent came out, I didn't have a following at all. I didn't have the 5 inches of following that I have now. And so, I think I lucked out because my story kind of sounds crazy in just a few sentences. Wrote his first novel while serving a 5-year sentence for fucking cutting people's heads off for a cartel and putting it into the desert. Now he writes novels. He's fucking reformed. It was something to that effect. Maybe not that hardcore, but you've heard it before. So I think that's why I lucked out, and I got people to show up at readings. I've been to readings where like 2 or 3 people show up, including the author. It's like him and like one person. It looks like they're playing chess or something. Do you want me to read the next page? Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. No. Sally went to the field, blah, blah, blah. This time, I know that, like, if I go to, like, Miami, I know that there's a lot of people from Florida, even if you don't live in Miami. I would assume that people will come to see me in person. That could be dangerous for me. Fuck it. And so I'm really looking forward to it, and I think that a lot of the success of the book is going to be predicated by my touring. Touring does more for you than you realize. It really, like, because you start hitting towns. Now, local newspapers are like, you can like pitch to the local newspaper that you're going to be there doing a reading. Hey, can you give me an article? All of a sudden you start getting all this press. You get to interact with your fans. It's fucking cool. And I think 30 is pretty ambitious. Like, most authors don't do, like, they do like 5 and they go home and get their dick sucked by their maid. No, authors are generally struggling, don't have maids. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on. My throat has been like insanely sore. I don't have COVID, thank God. But I've been dealing with the litigation attorneys, and I've been getting ready for Antiheroes to come out. And then I talked to Seth today, and I guess Avery, the second and third act. So I told you guys I saw the first act of the film, right? I loved it. I think it's the best cut yet by a long shot. I never saw Lucas's cut. Still to this day, I haven't seen that, so I can't compare it to that. But I know that Avery is going to give Seth like the second and third act. So it's like in 3 30-minute acts, hour-and-a-half long documentary. He should have it this week, is what he said. This week coming up. Maybe the week after, but it's like real close. And then now I get to have some creative involvement at that point. Now, Avery's been working his fucking ass off. First he had to work with me, then he had to work with Lucas. Now he's working with Seth, and Seth is gnarly. He wears like goalie masks to like meetings. He's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck, homeboy. Like smashing furniture. Avery's like, oh my God, all right, I will have the cut by Friday, Seth. It's a really interesting dynamic because Avery is, nice guy, but relatively soft-spoken compared to, like, Seth. He, like, fucking high-fives the ghost to Wes Watson. Wes is like, oh, I'm still alive, but I do yoga, now I'm a ghost. Wow. This is why I did a mono. Imagine if the whole video is this out of control, just out there. So yeah, then I get to, impart my advice or whatever on them. I get to bestow my fucking thoughts and feelings onto the film. And then it has to get color, treated and like sound stabilized. You guys are like, we've heard this before, but it's seriously like almost at the end now. And then the last thing is the score, right? Avery's been making the music too. That guy's like one of the most talented people I've ever met. He did the cover for Antiheroes. He edited the whole doc. And he like made music. He made like Ryan Leone action figures that say palabra and like fart cum. I'm like, hey, that's talent, dog. And I have a meeting with Suicidal Tendencies to help out with the score. They watched the first cut. I got good reviews from them. They're like, this is badass. It's like one of my favorite bands growing up, so that's really a dream come true. I am dropping names again. Look at this shit. This is not track marks. I know people are probably like, yeah, you're fucking. No, that's the dog cutting me and shit. Karina has him too, and she's not an IV drug addict. It's been a real blessing having Cubby, the German Shepherd dog that we have. It's just kind of got me out of my funk. Animals can be incredibly healing. when you're going through a dark time. And I'm sober, you know? It's like I'm back on subs, but that's it. I'm not smoking weed. I'm off benzos, you know? It's like I feel good about that. There's a sense of accomplishment when I wake up every day and I'm like, all right, I just finished my second book that's actually coming out. June Gloom, I'm pulling at least for the time being because, I don't know, we'll get into that in a different video, but for personal reasons, I don't want to put some of that shit out there. You know, it's like not fair to Karina. I'm like, yeah, and then the first time we had anal, it was almost like, you know, a ceremony. We lit candles, you know, then we surfed the beaches of McCoy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck, dude. Okay. Tonight after this, I'm going to be continue the relapse storyline. It's going to be for the $10 tier. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to come back. It's like, you know, I'm not trying to put too much pressure on myself. I'm just slowly like getting back in the swing of things, and it feels good. Like I'm just like last night, I wanted to do a video and I was really tired. I hadn't slept for like 2 or 3 days, you know. That's part of post-acute withdrawal. Anyone that's kicked opiates knows that. It's really gnarly with fentanyl. And Karina's like, you know what? Like, you got to take care of your mental health. You got to take care of your body. You need to get some sleep. Like, that's more important. So I was like, all right. And so I went to sleep. And I'm glad I did that because I woke up feeling a lot better. Woke up, made a cup of coffee, beat off. I was like, damn, this is some fucking insanely good caffeine. Where do you get this? Trader Joe's? Great. Yeah, I just beat off. So what? All right, guys. Relapse video coming up. I love you so very much. Palabra.